Hello and welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mary Agiobo. Our top stories. Federal government moves to resolve disputed oil field boundaries. Court to rule as FCT workers strike continues. Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria exceeds housing finance target and disburses 48.4 billion naira. On the foreign scene, India and European Union announced landmark trade deal. Now the news in detail. The federal government has commenced a coordinated effort to resolve boundary disputes involving newly drilled and contested oil and gas fields across several oil-producing states. The Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission says it has identified and is plotting official coordinates of the disputed fields to ensure fair and constitutional distribution of the 13% derivation fund. According to the Commission, the process is being carried out with key federal agencies responsible for boundary demarcation, surveying, and petroleum regulation. The Commission assured affected states of transparency and fairness, stressing that derivation benefits must go to states where crude oil and gas are produced. Meanwhile, officials said the outcome of the exercise will provide a clear technical basis for equitable revenue sharing and help prevent future disputes among states. The National Industrial Court in Abuja is set to rule on a suit filed by the Federal Capital Territory Administration, seeking to restrain labor unions from continuing the ongoing strike. The industrial action has paralyzed major Federal Capital Territory offices, disrupting public services across the nation's capital. While the FCTA insists that most workers' demands have been met, the Joint Union Action Committee maintains that core issues remain unresolved. Union lawyers told the court that stopping the strike without addressing outstanding welfare and salary concerns would amount to injustice. Meanwhile, workers and labor groups staged protests demanding the removal of the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, as tensions between government and labor remain high. In another development, the Rivers State Police Command has confirmed an assassination attempt on a traditional ruler in Hana local government area of the state. Gunmen reportedly emerged from nearby bushes and opened fire on the monarch's vehicle, damaging parts of the car. The royal father sustained a gunshot injury and is currently receiving medical attention. Police say tactical teams have been deployed to track down the attackers as investigations continue to uncover the motive behind the attack. Meanwhile, security agencies have assured residents that those responsible will be brought to justice. And Dangote Petroleum Refinery has reaffirmed its commitment to stabilizing Nigeria's fuel market and ensuring uninterrupted nationwide supply of premium malto spirit, PMS. The refinery said it recently implemented a temporary price support measure to cushion Nigerians during periods of high household spending. With market conditions stabilizing, fuel prices have now been adjusted to sustainable levels to protect long-term supply. The refinery disclosed that it supplies about 50 million liters of PMS daily, with nationwide distribution operating normally. Officials also revealed that the refinery continues to shield Nigeria from import-related volatility and external supply disruptions. The Nigerian Medical Association has criticized the ultimatum issued by the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress over the ongoing Joeshu strike. The association described the threat of a nationwide shutdown as unnecessary, warning that health sector disputes require structured dialogue and technical engagement. The association further dismissed claims that the federal government upgraded the medical salary structure, describing such narratives as misleading and capable of causing division within the health sector. Meanwhile, medical leaders urged the government to remain focused on the collective bargaining process as the appropriate platform for resolving remuneration and welfare concerns. A major fire outbreak has destroyed the residential building and several shops in Opopo Ogbaru local government area of Anambra State. The fire reportedly started in one apartment and spread rapidly through adjoining rooms and commercial spaces, leaving dozens of families and business owners displaced. Residents made frantic efforts to salvage their belongings as security operatives and firefighters worked to contain the blaze, although no casualties were recorded. The incident caused significant property loss and widespread panic. Preliminary findings, however, suggest that the fire may have been triggered by an electric power surge as investigations continue. We take a pause here, and up next, a news story from the build sector. Do stay with us.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.
Welcome back. Glad to have you join us on Housing TV News at the hour, and now to the build sector. The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria surpassed its housing finance target, disbursing 48.4 billion naira to support home ownership and expand access to affordable housing nationwide. Officials said the performance places the bank among the top institutions driving Nigeria's housing and urban development agenda. The bank attributed the achievement to reforms that widen access to mortgage financing, particularly for low and middle income earners. FMBN also expanded non-interest mortgage products and increased outreach to informal sector workers, including traders, artisans, and small business owners. Meanwhile, analysts said the performance strengthens the bank's position as a central driver of housing finance reform and long-term reduction of Nigeria's housing deficit. And now to the Ogunusi Oloko family of the Ibeju-Lekki has escalated a land dispute to Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the Nigeria Police. The family alleged illegal sale of ancestral land by an individual accused of falsely presenting himself as the family head. They say official records do not recognize the individual as an authorized representative. The family has called on the state government to intervene, halt further land transactions, protect innocent buyers, and preserve communal land ownership in the area. They also urge the police to investigate the matter thoroughly. And now to the foreign scene. India and the European Union have announced a landmark trade agreement aimed at deepening economic ties and expanding market access. The deal will significantly reduce tariffs on goods including machinery, vehicles, chemicals, and industrial equipment. Meanwhile, leaders on both sides describe the agreement as historic, saying it will boost investment flows, strengthen supply chains, and support economic growth. The agreement also reinforces broader cooperation in security, defense, and climate action as both regions seek greater economic resilience. And finally, a worsening drought in northeastern Kenya is pushing communities closer to a humanitarian emergency as livestock deaths rise and food insecurity deepens. Months without rainfall have dried up major water sources, forcing residents to burn dead animals to prevent disease and scavenger attacks. Pastoral communities say they have lost most of their livestock, leaving families without food or income. Meanwhile, across the country, millions of people are facing worsening food insecurity after failed seasonal rains. However, humanitarian agencies warn the crisis extends across East Africa as governments and aid groups struggle to meet growing demand for food and water assistance. That's the much we can take on Housing TV News at the hour, but before we go, let's take a recap of our top stories. Federal government moves to resolve disputed oil field boundaries. Courts to rule as FCT workers' strike continues. Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria exceeds housing finance target and disburses 48.4 billion naira. And on the foreign scene, India and European Union announced landmark trade deal. For more news on housing sector, just subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow Housing TV on all social media platforms. Download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Many thanks for watching. I am Mary Agiobo. Bye for now.